What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Acemetaphor, and we are back in this piece. This is the Ace of Hearts podcast. This is episode 5. I'm still trying to get my chair right because I've been going up and down, but now I think I'm in the frame. This is episode 5. We're going to start streaming on all the audio platforms. So if you're one of those people that you can't sit and watch my content on a daily basis, cool, I understand that. I got you. You can now start listening to me. So I'm going to do that today. So whatever today is, when you watch it, you'll be able to now immediately go to Shopify, iTunes, and Apple Music and be able to get all this content. So when you driving to work or you sitting in that traffic, especially if you in Atlanta, y'all got ridiculous traffic out there. What the fuck is going on? LA, why gotta be so much traffic? New York, y'all don't even know how to drive. You on the subway and shit, you can plug in your earphones, man, and I can give you a dose of that motivation and also just that pep talk, man, to really get you encouraged to stand up for your standards, man. Stand up for your standards. Some of y'all sitting down with them standards and stand up and hold your head up proud, like high and proud. Like there's a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying, they have standards until they're challenged by people. Or people don't want to deal with them because their standards are so high. Then they be like, well, let me lower the motherfucker. No, not today. So anyway, I got Instagram on here. If you want to ask me questions, all you have to do is go to Instagram at acemetaphor and you'll be able to ask me questions and I answer them live here, okay? And as you can see, I got the Don't Waste My Time shirt with the pink. This is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month shirt. So there's still a couple left on my website, acemetaphor.shop. If you want the pink pack so you can support the breasts, make sure you get your mammograms. Make sure you do your daily checks when you in the showers. Check for lumps. Men do it as well. It is not something that's just for women. Breast cancer doesn't discriminate race, doesn't discriminate gender and our age. So we all need to take it very, very, very seriously, okay? So that's why I'm wearing pink this month, to support that process. So we're going to get back to the first question. I say, this is an easy question. What is wife and husband benefits that you shouldn't be given before marriage? That is a great question. I'm going to have to stand up for this question. She asks, what are wife and husband benefits? First of all, if you do not know what that answer is, you shouldn't start dating. Wife and husband benefits are not depending on the person. It ain't like, okay, I'm a meet a person and if he's nice enough, I'm gonna do whatever, nah, you gotta understand that your business of your heart has to have a plan. You have to have a business model for your heart. You know what I'm saying? Because when you think about relationships, I don't even want to say the word contract because that diminishes what I'm about to talk about. When you think about a marriage, that's a covenant. It is a covenant that you create with another being. Think about a contract, the most iron-lad contract in the world, and times it by 100. That's what the marriage union is. Because this is a sacred vow, if you believe in God, that you make before God. So there are some things that I can't do for you until we make this covenant. The biggest one that I want to talk about right now is kids. How many of y'all, right now, just raise your hand. And just raise your hand. How many of y'all got kids? Raise it. Raise your hand. If you got kids, raise your hand. Keep it raised. Now, how many of y'all still with the baby daddy? Huh? Exactly. Now, I'm not saying that your kids aren't a blessing to you now. But think about the things that you have sacrificed to be able to take care of those kids, probably damn near by yourself. Maybe you got a baby daddy that's sort of supportive. Maybe in your best case scenario, he picks their ass up every now and again or every other weekend and maybe pay some child support that only put a dent in the actual bills that needs to be paid. But you gave wifely benefits to a boyfriend, which was access to your body unprotected. Yeah. I know the intention wasn't to have kids, but you enjoyed sex in a way that maybe husband and wife should only be able to have sex. Same is true when you open up your body unprotected to that boyfriend. How many of y'all done been to the clinic before? Hey, listen, if somebody watching, if you watching this with somebody, you ain't, just raise your hand in your mind. They don't need to know your STD shit. They don't really need to know all that. But my point is, when you go against little things like that, so when we talk about children, when we talking about living together, sharing bills, those are some of those things should be reserved for people who have earned the right to get that privilege. Me liking you don't mean shit nowadays. The purpose of dating, hopefully for everybody that's watching, is to find a potential marriage mate. The reason we can't do that, and the reason why a lot of people aren't taking their marriage seriously, is because we're not taking dating seriously and we're blurring the lines. Let me tell you something. If we're just boyfriend and girlfriend, side note, I don't even believe in that shit, but if that's what we are, it's only so many free samples I'm going to give you. There's only so much of my time that I can divvy up during the week for you. You can get my spare time at that point. I ain't sacrificing shit. I'm not giving up my dreams. I'm not giving up nothing for a maybe. Here's the thing. Before somebody marries you and makes that covenant, they ain't got no obligation to stay there. They can leave whenever they want. And y'all not dating like that. You're dating as if that person is going to be in your life past a year or two. When you guys are having children together. When you guys are signing a lease. How you sign a year lease or a 30-year mortgage with somebody that they ain't even guaranteed to be in your life past tomorrow. But no, he really loves me, just not that much yet. He love you, sort of. He want to be with you sometimes. You know, he can see himself with you, but not enough to be motivated to see himself with you the rest of his life. I mean, he love you for today, damn near maybe for tomorrow, but past that, we don't fucking know. You know why? Because he ain't did it right. And for everybody that's saying, well, paper don't mean nothing, you know, you just be married on paper, so why should I wait to give people, you know, shacking up benefits and children benefits and sacrificing dream benefits? You damn near shouldn't even do that for your husband. But I can understand if you married and this person has promised to be there for you for a lifetime, what's sacrificing a year or two so they can finish school? Y'all gonna be married for 60 more years. But you're doing this shit right now. And he ain't promised to be with you past yesterday. Well, think about it. How many of you guys has been in a relationship more than 2 years before? Raise your hand. Raise it high. Do your fingers like this. Do your fingers like this. How many of y'all still in that same relationship? Well, exactly. What you have to do is say, there's some things I'm not doing until we have a ring. Until we make this covenant. Until you've proven that you're worthy of that covenant. Because here's what people about to say. Marriage don't mean shit. People get divorced all the time because they're not taking dating seriously. It's not marriage is the problem. It's the courtship that's now the problem. We are blurring the lines. You talking to somebody hours upon hours every day when you're just dating. You're growing unhealthy attachments to people when you're just dating. You're fixing people when you're just dating. Let me tell you something. If we are just dating, you are on probationary period with me. You on probation. If you just a babe, you on probation. You ain't got times to call in sick. You feel me? Period. On this relationship while we dating. You ain't got multiple write-ups you can fuck up multiple times when we just dating. Because how you are acting during the dating phase is a perfect predictor on how you will act when we're married. Why would I give you full-time benefits and let you in the union if you fucking up during the probationary phase? You only got 90 days to act right. If you cannot act right in 90 days, why would I officially hire you and give you benefits? If a person can't act right prior to being married, why would you marry them? Think about it. The plan is to be married for 60 years. This is 60 years. Look, right here, right here. The dating portion should only be this much. 60 years, dating portion. Even if you dated for 2 years, that's this much compared to 60 years. If you can't act right in this much, why the fuck would I give you this much? Y'all tripping. You want to build a bae, you want to fix a boo, you want a project nigga. Project, he's a project. You got to research and build and put him together. This is what you want. The other day, I ordered a lamp. Well, let me tell you what happened. I ordered myself a lamp, right? And I'm like, you know what? I want a lamp. And I was like, I'm going to put this lamp together. That's what I said to myself. But they sent me a lamp in this box. You know what's in this box? Pieces that I got to put together. Let me tell you something. I make too much money to be buying shit that I got to put together. Fuck that. When I ordered on Amazon, I ordered this picture. This, y'all, I ordered this. I did not order a box of pieces that I gotta put together. I'm sending this shit back because this is not what the fuck I ordered. I don't want an assembly required type of dude or girl. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't want an assembly required person. I want what I paid for. I paid for this. I didn't pay for boxes full of pieces that I gotta put together. My shit together. When you make a certain amount of money, just certain shit you can afford not to do, like put together shit in a box and be. Same is true. When your standards is right, when you have healed yourself, when you have reached a level of love and self-love for yourself, you expect people to come to the table with the same accomplishment. You ain't trying to put somebody together. Especially when during the date, what they did was show you. Let me show you what they showed you. They showed you this. They said, this is me. You see this Instagram? You see this? This is what they said is me. The full ass lamp. And when you agree to be in a relationship with them, they deliver themselves to your house in a box talking about put me together if you want me. I ain't got time for that shit. So what I'm trying to tell y'all that's watching on Instagram, and what I'm trying to tell y'all that's watching on YouTube, and what I'm trying to tell y'all that's listening on Spotify and iTunes is this. You got to start saying to yourself, what am I willing to do prior to making a covenant with a person? Period. What am I willing to do prior to making a covenant? A covenant is a sacred vow. A lot of you guys are going to be like, marriage is just a piece of paper. But so is the degree that doctor has before she go in your coochie. Make you feel a lot more comfortable putting your legs apart when your OBGYN actually got a degree and shit and some training, right? And a certification. Make you feel a lot better about it, don't it? It's just a piece of paper. All right, that piece of paper is valuable before you let him in your coochie, but yet and still you can't have that same piece of paper from a man before you let him eat that motherfucker raw. Before you let him go in there without gloves. Y'all kill me. Y'all kill me. Marriage is just a piece of paper. All right, cool. It make you feel good when your OBGYN has it though. Okay, whatever. So anywho, but it's bigger than that. It's a covenant. So, to answer your question, you have to think about the things that you are willing to do for free, that's on the house. Normally, these are things that you can afford to lose. So things like, all right, if I sacrificed an hour or 2 hours of my week for a year with a person, even if it didn't work out, I'd be okay. Sometimes that's putting a fence around your feelings. Sometimes you say, I'm willing to feel this much for a person until we are engaged. And then I'll open my floodgates of my heart. But right now you only have access. Your badge only works in this chamber of my heart or this chamber. Some of you guys are giving people an all access badge to your heart before they even had the credentials, the right credentials to match. And that's the problem. And then what happens is when a relationship don't work, they fuck up the whole heart. Not just a little piece of it, the whole heart. So these are the things that you got to consider why you should ration prior to deciding to get in a relationship. Because if you're deciding these things when you start dating, it's things you're going to overlook. You're going to be not as effective. And damn, you're going to be abandoning the plan and shit. Let me tell you something. In this building, there's a plan. If a fire alarm happens, there's a plan. If a tornado happens, there's a plan. You make plans so when emergencies happen, you can react and not have to think. The thing about it is some of you guys are dating without a plan. So you can't just react. When something happens, you should know exactly what you should be doing so you don't have to think about it and waste time. For example, if somebody cheated on you, what you gonna do? A lot of y'all about to say leave, but some of y'all don't be. Because you don't never ask yourself that question. You always assume you know the answer, but you don't ask it. You know, in a relationship, would you be submissive? Is there rules to your submissiveness? Is there a protocol that needs to be followed before you just submit to some damn man telling you what the fuck to do? Is it, before I submit, this is what I need you to do, brother? If we're going to talk about submission, if obviously it's just two of us, me and you, and at some point I might feel strongly about going left and you may feel strongly about going right. But let me tell you something, brother. Just because you got a penis don't mean that I'm just going to blindly go right just because, or left, or whatever direction you wanted to go because you said so. However, if you are my husband, I will follow. But before that happens, what I need you to do is to agree to me that we'll at least talk about it 3 times, 1 week apart. That you will seriously consider what I said and how I feel. And prior to that, before making a decision, we agree to seek spiritual and mature advice. And if after all those things are accomplished, then I'll go your way if you still don't agree. That's what our covenants are. A lot of you guys are making these basic ass vows to have, to hold, till death do us part. Man, my covenant, my vows gonna be fucking encyclopedia. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna think about every single thing. That's what you doing during engagement. But I get it. Y'all concerned about what the fuck colors your wedding gonna be and what kind of cake you gonna eat. You spend all this time picking a cake, but you don't spend no time thinking about your vows besides trying to sound cute. Like, I loved you from the very moment I laid eyes on you. Oh, that's cute. Everybody gonna be crying at your wedding, but you didn't solve nothing. Your vows in that covenant is what you're gonna go back to after you've been married sometimes. And when you have disagreements, and you're gonna revisit the covenant that you made. And I need you to have been very specific. Think about like I said, a covenant is just a contract times 1,000. Think about a contract. When you have an ironclad contract, you ain't even gotta figure shit out. When it's a disagreement, you go back to the contract. Don't have a contract where the language wasn't specific enough. Then it opens it up for interpretation. Nah, when you get married, that covenant needs to be very specific. If you know for a fact you don't want to leave your hometown for no reason, you tell that motherfucker in your covenant that I ain't trying to move from, I want to always live in Alabama. Do you agree with this? And then years later, when he get a job somewhere, y'all ain't got to bicker about it. You say, you agreed that we would never have to leave Alabama if I didn't want to. You always go back to that covenant. So prior to having that covenant, when you are doing wifely things for people, it just opens yourself up for so much hurt because you don't have protection. Would you fuck somebody you just met raw? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. So you want protection. You want protection, you know. The same is true. Would you let somebody in your heart raw that you just met? No. You want protection first. And so that marriage, that covenant is the protection from protecting your heart against sexually transmitted demons. I was talking to somebody in Houston and they mentioned that. I thought that was one of the most profound things I've ever heard is sexually transmitted demons. You know what I'm saying? Something in those unhealthy soul ties. So I know I spent about the whole episode talking about this. And I know y'all like, you supposed to be answering other questions, Ace. Well, this is about the only question I'm answering on this episode because I feel like we accomplished a whole lot, okay? So anyway, if you guys liked anything you heard, make sure you go ahead and support the Don't Waste My Time movement, which is my apparel. The Queens Don't Settle apparel. You can go to acemetaphor.shop and you can get any of my books, any of my shirts. Right now, I got a deal going for the pink pack because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you can get all my favorite shirts with pink variations. This is the Don't Waste My Time, the pink variation. You see it right here. First of all, it's fly as fuck. I ain't even gonna lie. It's fly. It's fly. Because I know a lot of people don't like pink, like all pink, like everything pink. But it's got enough of it to just be like, all right, I'm supporting, but I still look fly in my black because I like wearing black, all right? So that's so that's everything right there. Oh no, where is Buddy on here? I see where I done seen some people say Frank. Hey, first of all, hey, real talk. Well, I can't call you real talk no more. Brandon Alexander Williams. Okay, Brandon Alexander. Yo, first of all, that bar that you broke down on that video you put on your page, was it yesterday? I watched it this morning. Was about the rawest thing I've heard. That the way you broke down the Gap Band and their lyrics, the Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street in one bar though. Like it was one or two bars, however many ones it was. Like people don't understand the complexity of real hip hop, man, of rap. And like you broke it down, rhythm, I mean, what is it? What'd you say? Rhythm and poetry. Unlazy language. Like, cause the thing about it is, and it's not a lot of people's poetry that, first of all, I'm a poet, you guys. I used to host poetry shows in Dayton, Ohio. Real talk, he goes by Brandon Alexander Williams now. He used to be an artist that, well, he still is an artist, but he used to come to our shows like at least once a year. And when I mean, you can hear this man say the same poem 10 times, and every single time you hear this man say the poem, you get something different. That's how complex his poetry is. That's how complex his rap is. Like, if you go to his page right now, y'all, unlazy with language. If you go to his page right now and he'll break down a bar for you, and I promise it's worth the watch. If you got 5 minutes, go to his page. It's worth the watch. Trust me, all right? So Brandon Alexander Williams, go ahead, all right? So I love you guys. I will talk to you later, all right? Peace. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Ace of Hearts podcast. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.